Herkese merhabalar, hoş geldiniz. Birazdan başlayacağız. YouTube canlı yayınımızı da aktifleştirdik. Evet, Europedes de aramızda. Hello Europedes.
Everybody.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Very nice. Nice to see you again.
Nice to
Actually,
see you all.
thank you. Actually, we started the live streaming on YouTube and also here. Let me introduce you a little short and I will give the speech to you. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, hello everyone again. Yesterday, actually, we did our first meeting about the project, and today we will introduce some other topics related to STEM, and some part will be related to our project. Actually, our first speech will be held on Professor Dr. Euripides from the Aristo University in Greece. He will introduce himself shortly, then he will introduce his topic. Actually, we did many things with him. With the help of him, he showed the way because he is really experienced academician from the Aristo University, and he showed us some way about STEM, and we try to understand how we can implement entrepreneurship and the STEAM education, and we just try to draw a framework for STEM plus E. Actually, at the end, with the help of him and with the help of this team, we try to understand the standards for the STEM plus E. Today, we will see the relation between the STEM and the subjects between science, technology, engineering, and math today. And we will try to understand what we did for this project shortly. Actually, today, the project team actually will also present their interest about STEM. I don't want to take more time today. I want to give the speech to Euripides, and he will introduce himself, what he's doing, and his main research, what he wants to do. He can mention a little bit, then he will introduce his topic. Thank you, Euripides. The speech to you.
Uh, okay.
Yes, we see
I
your
hope you,
presentation.
okay, I hope you can all see my presentation.
Yeah.
Uh, Good morning, actually, because it's morning in most parts of Europe yet. My name is Euripides Hadjikraniotis. I'm the head of the Laboratory for Science Education and Educational Technology here at the Department of Physics of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. And what I will try to give you as a presentation here is how we can combine STEM and entrepreneurship in order to promote 21st century skills. The most part of my presentation will be focused on a teacher training course we have designed and evaluated for that. Now, before I start, I just want to show you the timeline of historic inventions, and you can see that it goes back to almost 800,000 years before Christ, where the fire was invented, and it continues up to recently, for example, 2018, when the reusable launch system was introduced. Now, what I want you to see is that the timeline the events in the timeline are not equally spaced, but mostly the major part is from 19th century and a very big part is in the 20th or 21st century. Now, here you can see the invention of lithium-ion batteries, which were introduced or commercialized in 1991. First of all, can you hear me okay?
Yes, everything is nice, really nice. Thank you.
Okay. Since that was commercialized in 1991, and you can see that in the last 20 years, how it became important in many applications, like we are using mobile phones. Why that? Because we have the power to power the mobile phones. We were having wearable devices. We're now having electronic vehicles. And there are many things to appear in the next future, and all that are just based on a particular invention of the lithium-ion batteries. Now, what I'm trying to give you as a message is that over the last 30 years, there has been tremendous technological advances. And the message behind that is that the society our students will be living in most probably will not look the same as to what we are having today. So the question is, are our students prepared to live in a fast-changing society? Now, here you can see some inventions that are foreseen for the year 2030. This is not very far from now. It is just 5 years away from now. And you can see here that people are developing applications where we could actually smell from distance. Today we are having we can communicate with very many ways, and we can see the other person, no matter if it is next room or if he's on the different continent, like we are seeing Mehmet now. But we are missing something, and this is we missing the touching of him and the smelling of him. Now, these things are foreseen to be available by the year 2030. Here you can see the 3D bones. These are bones that are printed by 3D printers. Obviously, you can see brain reading robots. Now our communication with robots is only verbal or textual, but in the very near future, robots, our thoughts will be transmitted and could be understandable by robots. Now here you see something which, as an idea, was back in Star Trek, I think, where each actor on this series had an avatar, and the avatar actually showed his health. So this is also foreseen for the 2030, and we all know ChatGPT, which is natural language processing models, which appeared something like 2 years ago, but it's still expanding, and it will be more advanced by the year 2030. Now, photovoltaics have been known for years, but some people thought that maybe we can use photovoltaics to charge our mobile phones. So this is an application that it still is existing, or an application where we combine photovoltaics with some kind of battery system, so we can power lamps at night. And today we are having the so-called flexible photovoltaics. And some person thought that, well, maybe we could cover a camp tent with this flexible photovoltaics and have power for our camping or whatever. So the question here is, can our students develop solutions like this? And can we train them how to develop solutions like this? So obviously, we should change our teaching paradigm. So at the right side of your image, of your screen, you can see the traditional method of teaching, which is reading, memorizing, practicing, reciting, and then getting the grades. Now, as opposite to that, the modern pedagogy says that it is better to have a new way of teaching where students do observations, students ask questions, develop hypotheses, do experiments to test their hypothesis if it is right or if it is wrong, do analysis, and do conclusions. Now, this kind of approach maybe could help students to develop the skills of applying new technology and integrating new technology into their lives. So these are the so-called 21st century skills. Actually, there are not just 12, as I'm showing here, but there are many more. But the basic 12 are learning skills, which means critical thinking. So that means that we should formulate our students to perform critical thinking, to be creative, to do collaboration, and to communicate effectively between them. There are literacy skills, and there is also life skills like flexibility, initiative, productivity, and social skills. Now, the first learning skills can be promoted by project-based learning and inquiry-based learning. The second life literacy skills could be promoted by technology integration. And the third kind of skills, the life skills, could be promoted by entrepreneurship-based learning. Now, STEAM, how that is connected to STEAM education. Here you can see the key skills that are developed through STEAM or STEM, which is problem solving, creativity, critical analysis, communication, digital literacy, teamwork, and you can see that many of them actually are on these two top categories of skills. Actually, STEM learning could be based on project-based learning. It should focus on real-life problems. It would be multitasking, interdisciplinary, and promotes the so-called soft skills development. Now, on the other hand, the last category of life skills, which we said that is related to entrepreneurship education, is also focused on life, on soft skills, and it also can be promoted by project-based learning. The difference, obviously, the two projects could be different, okay? And it has it can be applied by informal educational system. It should also be interdisciplinary, and it also includes sustainability. So you see that the two areas, the area of STEAM education and the area of entrepreneurship education are not two separate areas of knowledge, but they share kind of common things and common tasks. So the question is, okay, if we now combine STEAM with entrepreneurship, how we can do it? And to address this subject, this topic, I am giving you a reminding of a story that we heard when we were little kids. And these are the three little pigs and the bad wolf. The three little pigs have created three different houses, one out of hay, one out of wood, and one out of bricks. Now, as a STEAM project, all the three houses are very nice STEAM projects. Create a product, create a house out of hay, create a house out of wood, create a house out of brick. But what is the difference between the three, among the three types of houses the little pigs have built? Actually, it is the building materials, it is the building method, it is the time required, and it is the manpower. Now, all this, in fact, come to a same factor, the cost. And when I'm saying cost, I'm not only referring to the money cost, but also to the resource cost. For example, how much time do we require to build a brick house instead of a hay house? How much manpower do we need? And obviously, how much money we will need for that. Now, when costs comes into account, then entrepreneurship comes into account. So for a typical STEAM project, you do not need to take into account the cost. And when I'm saying cost, I mean the general cost. But when it comes into combining the STEM project with entrepreneurship, then cost is an important parameter. So now let's try to see if we can combine them. In other words, if there are similarities between STEAM and entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs actually generate an idea focusing on a real problem. STEAM also addresses a real problem. They embrace teamwork. STEAM also embrace teamwork. They promote critical thinking and creativity in finding a solution. STEAM also promotes this. So it is kind of common workflow between an entrepreneur and a scientist or an engineer. And you can see here two different ways. One is the engineering design process, which is a typical process when you're doing a STEAM project, where you identify the problem, you explore the solution, you design it, you create it, you try out, and you make it better. This is the so-called engineering design process, and it is typically used in STEM. And here you can see the agile methodology, which is typically used in entrepreneurship, which has similar steps. It's plan, design, develop, test, deploy, review, and finally launch the project. So you see that there is a common workflow with entrepreneurships and scientists or engineers. Now, the way that STEAM and entrepreneurial teams are composed, an entrepreneurial team often is based on experts with specialized knowledge in various areas, for example, in engineering, in design, in economics, in marketing, management, and so forth. But also in STEAM teams, frequently they comprise of individuals with diverse backgrounds, diverse expertise, and diverse perspectives. So still there is kind of similarity how a STEAM team is composed and how an entrepreneurial team is composed. So the question now is, okay, how to incorporate entrepreneurship into a STEAM project? In the sense that we have developed a STEAM project, how can we incorporate entrepreneurship into that? First is the resource management. We have to take into account the resources that we will be using. Then it is the cost management. Then it is the marketing, that is the target group, the user scenario, and then finally it is team working methods, which have to be modified a little bit so that an entrepreneurship can be included into a STEAM project. In other words, we are having a STEAM project, like for example, we want to build an effective greenhouse to grow tomatoes or whatever. We have to have this greenhouse automated in the sense that it will have sensors and things like that. So you can see that when entrepreneurship comes into that, there should be the resource management, there should be the cost management, there should be the marketing, and there should be also some modification in team working methods. So the connection of STEAM with entrepreneurship is an innovative approach that first of all strengthens the 21st century skills, focusing on the development of creative solutions. Now, what is important is that entrepreneurial education is not only about creating a new business, is not only how I can make money out of it, but it's also about shaping a culture of innovation, initiative, and flexibility. Now, this difference in approach actually means that we have to train teachers to adapt this shaping of culture of innovation, because it is a culture of being innovative. It is a culture for being flexible. It is a culture for taking initiatives. So we need to train teachers on how to effectively integrate STEM and entrepreneurship in their classroom. Why? To promote 21st century skills to their students. So from now and for the next 5 slides, I will try to show you how we have developed a teacher training course in order to fulfill this gap. The training course took place at Anna Papageorgiou's STEM Center in Anatolia College of Thessaloniki during the spring break of May 2024. There were 32 participants. And the content was organized into 5 modules of 8 hours each, and you can see the modules there. It started from foundations on STEM education, project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, and design thinking, entrepreneurship in STEM education, and finally it was the evaluation and the certification of the project. Now here you can see just a few photos on the teacher training course. And again, some other photos on the teacher training course. Now the content material were uploaded into a platform called Padlet. And you can see it here. Obviously, it is in Greek, but you can see that it was structured on different topics depending on what was each day, what was the topic for each day. And I'm now going to the teacher training course, to the evaluation of the teacher training course. Actually, there were 2 questionnaires. One was a professional learning questionnaire, which tested the evaluation of the training course, the management support, the new use of new knowledge and skills, and the improvement of the training, the self-assessment of improvement of the training. And you can see that actually the top was 2. And you can see it here that we have very good results, very high mean values, which indicate the general satisfaction and the perceived effectiveness of the course. Now, there was also another test, the attitude questionnaire, which was delivered pre and post, so it is a pre-post comparison. Again, there are 4 dimensions to be tested: creativity and innovation, risk-taking and decision-making, interdisciplinarity, and entrepreneurial skills. And with different colors, you see each of these dimensions. And you see that before it is the left column, after post is the right column. And you see that in all the 4 dimensions, we had a significant or an increase in the participating teachers' responses. Now, another source of evaluation was the lesson plans that teachers have been developed at the end of the course. There were 18 lesson plans that have been submitted. And you can see here the topics. Some of them are related to green economy, which is the content of this conference, like, for example, devices to purify water, devices that indicate a type of a chemical, plant watering system, build a smart city application, a modern solar system, design and construction of an automatic seismograph, wind turbine construction, and so forth. So as a summary, I tried to give you an idea on how to integrate STEAM and entrepreneurship in order to promote 21st century skills. And I focused on a teacher training course that was designed to bridge the gap between STEAM and education. The rest of the slide tells you how it was evaluated. And with that, I would like to thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Euripides, for sharing us the brief information about our STEAM project. It is really great for us to understand actually what we did in each country. Actually, with the 7 members from different countries and 140 teachers trained with the help of this project. Maybe with the help of these 140 teachers, maybe more than thousands students will be trained in terms of teaching STEAM plus considering the entrepreneurial part of the STEM. Actually, as you mentioned here, there are many sites for the STEM education. We also try to implement the other side of entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship has, as we earlier discussed in our transnational meetings, for main sites, cost effectiveness, marketing side, and team working, and some parts will be the research management. So there are many complex issues for implementing entrepreneurial part because when we are trying to implement some STEM project into our classrooms, we only consider the integration of these disciplines, but we ignore or maybe we don't care about the cost effectiveness or the resource or the marketing or other teamwork issues related to STEM projects. So thank you very much. Brief information what you did in Greece, and thank you very much for sharing the ideas about what you did in there. Is there any question right now from the participants? Because we are now live on YouTube. I am checking the chat box right now. Is there a question or right not? Or you can ask directly to now. If they want to ask us later, they have option to do that. If Euripides write your email address, maybe they can send you a question. Then you can try to reply it. In chat box, you can write your email if you want. Thank you very much. Okay, any question?
I do stop sharing, right?
Yes, we can stop it because we will continue as far as I see here. Oh, okay. We have other members from Spain, Professor Angeles, right? Nice to see you. And Andrea Temersi, professor from Italy, Unitino. Nice to
Ciao,
see you again. Ciao.
nice to see
Yeah,
you.
nice to see you again. Okay, if Professor Euripides shared email address, if you want to ask question direct to him, you can send to him as well. Thank you very much. So if we are ready, we can continue with the next session with Professor Tomasi from Italy, University. He will introduce himself shortly. We know him from our translational meeting, but we'll know, and then we can continue with the next session. Okay, the speech, and you can speak right now, Andrea Tomasi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mehmet, also to invite me here. And now I will share my screen just to show you some slides.
Mhm.
Okay, whole screen.
Perfect.
Hopefully now you see it,
Yes,
right?
we see it right now.
So thank you again, Mehmet, to invite me to this International Green Europe conference, in which I will show you how to empower in education in the climate action. In another project we developed in Nettuno, my university, in which I am researcher and professor. The name of the project is GreenCent. It is an Horizon-funded project with 16 partners from 10 countries, more than 7 languages, a lot of experts, and thousands of students in the pilot activities. This is a quick lookup of the consortium members, as you can see, from all universities, research centers, but also schools and company all over most countries of Europe. So the objective in the phase 1 of this project was to develop a GreenCent, we call GreenCent competence framework. So a framework aligned with the European communication of the Green Deal in its topics that are, for example, climate change, zero pollution, circular economy, from farm to fork, the green building, the biodiversity, the clean energy, and the smart mobility. And according to the European Qualification Frameworks level, the so-called EQFs of education. So we start our work with an extensive literature review, both of scientific and also policy papers, to build the first draft of our competence framework. Then we launched the Delphi study, and we built a knowledge graph to perform several validation activities to arrive at month 12 at the first release of this competence framework that in the following months was refined to arrive exactly in this month at its final shape. This is a quick overview of the workflow. As I told you, we start with this review. We elicitate from the papers analyzed some competencies and knowledge and skills and attitudes composing competencies. We associate them some EQF levels and some descriptor and statements to define these competencies. We built some tables, the competent framework matrices, and then after the Delphi study, we start labeling each item of these tables to create associative relation between these competence and build a knowledge graph. So a taxonomy, a taxonomy of what retrieved from literature. And after refining and pruning of the redundant information, we start with several validation workshops. This is just quantitative literature matrix, just to show you the amount of papers we analyze, divided in both the Green Deal focus areas in the green columns and also for EQF levels in the leftmost blue columns. We built this taxonomy with two kinds of matrices of tables. One we call first order matrix, a hierarchical order. One for every focus area of the Green Deal, for example, one of the climate change, one of the biodiversity, etc., with some competence areas and some competence. For every competence, we built a second order matrix with the set of knowledge, skills, and attitude for every competence. This is an example I reported here of the zero pollution Green Deal area, in which you can see on the leftmost and green column the competence areas, in the gray column the different competencies, and in some descriptors. So we built one of these for every of the 8 Green Deal focus area, one of this table. And then for each item in the gray column, so every competence, we built the second order matrices for a total of more than 120 tables with the set of knowledge, skills, and attitude, the EQF levels, some statements defining this knowledge, skills, and attitude, and some notes from literature, some keywords, and some hashtag to build then the knowledge graph. As I told you, we launched a Delphi study among the consortium partners, just to have a common understanding of what we were doing and to incorporate also feedback on what we retrieve from the literature with the partners who were able to modify the competencies and the knowledge, skills, and attitude, but obviously providing us a rationale, because we start at the beginning with a top-down approach from the literature, but we for sure wanted to cross-validate it with a bottom-up approach firstly from the consortium and then from the users, the end users, the stakeholders. After labeling with an hashtag every item included in the tables of the competence framework tables, we built this knowledge graph of the competence framework to explore it interactively, to browse the concepts. And we publish it online with this tool called Obsidian to start the interaction with an external advisory board, with other project members, and also in-person validation workshop with the partners and other collaborators. We then pass to the phase 2 of the project to refine this competence framework. So after the validation, we start also gathering some information in feedback loops with other work packages of the project, which started on this competence framework several activities. So especially with the VP4 and VP5 of the project, we could improve our competence framework. Then we also merge other taxonomies in the knowledge graph, taxonomies from the JRC already published Green Comp, and also from the EPCC Assessment Report 6, especially the summary for policymakers, to try to understand if there were some superimposition between these taxonomies. So we publish online also those. This one of the JRC, sorry, and this one of the EPCC, to build the, we call the green graph, to just to give it a catchy name. And if you want to take a look, this is a QR code on to go directly to the web page of the content we created.
Okay.
Obviously, oh, sorry, maybe a couple of seconds more to screen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll go on now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we published a couple of papers, but also a book with the World Consortium members to share our experience of this 3 years project with the scientific community. And in the future developments for create a legacy of the project, we start also to cross-reference the concepts we get from our experience to the United Nations global issues and the Sustainable Development Goal. Another topic we are now developing is there is information, a systematic literature review on this information on the environmental sustainability. And thank you. That's all from my side. Here you can see my email, andrea.tomassi, but I can share it also in the chat box.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Andrea Tomassi. Actually, you shared this Obsidian project, right? Greenscan. Actually, it is related to the graph theory mainly, right? Also, we can use that idea into our classrooms to take collection, the idea of the teachers. Maybe you can use in your classrooms if you check, quick check or deeply. You can search by Google. Maybe you have your own website, as far as I know, right? If you have any question, you can directly ask to the Andrea Tomassi from Italy. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with us. It was really an honor for us to host you, a valuable professor from Italy. Thank you very much. Okay, is there any question to Andrea Tomassi right now? If you want to ask at the moment, you can ask directly to him. If you want to ask him later, you can take his mail address. He will share out with us in chat box. You can ask later. Okay, thank you very much. If all okay, we can continue with the next session from Spain. From Spain, we have Professor Angeles from the Camila Jose University. Okay. Professor Angeles actually helped us in many fields in terms of helping for the project with the other team members. She showed us the way how we can define standards. She every time wrote the paper. She emailed us many times in 2 years. We learned many things from her. He's a really well-known professor from Spain. She will now introduce herself shortly, and she will say us what we did and about the STEM and entrepreneurship. Okay, if you are okay, you can start right now, Professor Angeles. Actually, I called her the name every time Angeles because now we know the exact pronunciation Angeles, right? Angeles
Yes.
is right. Okay. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to and inviting us, our team, to participate in this project. It has been a real pleasure to work with all the partners in each country. It's been amazing to participate with you, these 2 Turkish universities, another one in Greece, another one in Lithuania, Portugal, Italy, and this one in Spain. So it's been a real pleasure, and all of us, I think that we have learned a lot from each other. So what I'm going to present today is what we have done so far in Spain and with our team, and with some of the schools that we have been training for this year, and the results that they have produced. So this is the title of my presentation, Design of STE²AM Learning Situations. And I have chosen some best practices of the products that the teachers produced. So Euripides and Tomasi have explained what they have done as the university, the training of the teachers, the results. So what I'm going to present are the products.
Nice.
So that the students should have when they finish their basic education. That's it. When they finish secondary education, when they are 16-year-old. So they should be able to design their own personal, professional, and social project. And for that, they need to learn respect for the environment, responsible consumption, healthy life, peaceful conflict resolution, acceptance and management of uncertainty, commitment to situations of inequality and exclusion, valuing personal and cultural diversity, citizen engagement and at the local and global level, confidence in knowledge as a driver of development, critical, ethical and responsible use of a digital culture. So in order to meet all of these areas and competences, we design a type of lesson plans for teachers that should meet all of the requirements that we decided. So in order to get that the students develop competences, they need to apply and acquire certain learnings, certain contents. They also should integrate abilities, factual and conceptual knowledge, and should develop values and attitudes that are reflected in those challenges that we have explained before. They should apply everything in a context and develop activities and practice and implement what the teacher have designed. And well, they have arranged and decided between among the students and teachers. So they decide what they are going to learn. So there is an ingredient in the competences, in the development of the competences. There is an ingredient of performance and application. So students don't need to memorize, as Euripides so wonderfully has explained us. They don't need to memorize, though they need to implement and apply. So there are contents that are superfluous and others, the other contents are necessary for the 21st century society and which are not included so far. So we need to decide on what are the contents that our students need to develop these competences. The acquisition and development of both key competences and area and subject-specific competences require the learning, articulation and mobilization of certain contents, knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values. it is not possible to develop skills in a vacuum without contents. So that's why we decide on which are the best contents to develop certain projects. But we select them not following a sequence of contents, but we select them to meet the needs of the final tasks of the research projects that our students want to do. So in a competency-based approach, the selection of contents depends on the actions that the students must be able to deploy in certain types of situations or activities organized around content specific to that area, subject, or discipline. And these actions constitute precisely the core of the specific competencies. So, we trained teachers from several schools, and we had sessions to train them, and we trained them regarding methodologies used in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. But we also train teachers in methodologies used in entrepreneurship, such as design thinking and agile. And we also train teachers in certain high-tech tools, and mainly in artificial intelligence use. So regarding all of these things, these are some of the methodologies that they used to design their own lesson plans. So they use collaborative and cooperative learning, because this is one of the challenges that we have seen at the beginning. They need to work collaboratively and to use these competencies. So one of the ways to train teachers is by means of using this methodology, because in the core of this methodology, we also train social skills on how to solve peacefully conflicts. So we also train teachers, and they applied this problem-based learning methodology. They also used project-based learning. So this follows well, specific phases, such as the presentation, well, the investigation, sharing ideas among all of the students, deciding which are the best ways to develop this project, and finally presenting it to the community, to other students and their parents and the whole community, because they can also share it with some other students from other levels. They also used inquiry, and this is the cycle of inquiry, an invitation and an invitation to research on this topic. Tension, because there is they need to be conscious of the problems that they need to solve. So there is they inquire and they look for the students look for information to learn how to solve the problem. They value what they have done. And at the end, they try to take action and solve something which is real. It's a real problem, and they take action to to show somehow that they are entrepreneur in solving those social problems. But they also have used entrepreneurship methodologies such as design thinking or agile. And some examples that I'm going to show have used these design thinking methodologies with these phases of empathize, define the problem, ideate, how to solve that problem, to prototype it, and testing. So I've chosen 3 examples. So I'm going to begin with this last one, because I'm going to take, to use more time in explaining the first one. So this one, this is a hotel for insects. And this is the final project, what the students designed. But there was a relationship between 3 subjects: biology, technology, and design. So this was aimed for the students, 13 or 14-year-old students that belong to the 3rd year of compulsory secondary education. And this project lasted for 8 hours, more or less, of class, but it took more time for them because they need to work at home or among the students of the same team. The learning situation was environmental education and technology. And with that situation, the teachers tried to promote collaboration in data-driven analysis and decision-making in environment-related projects. So the teachers offer the students statistics about the decline of insects that there were born in that area, in the area near the school. So they had those statistics, and they analyzed how these insects have declined over the time. They also analyze statistics about the amount of certain flowers and certain plants that there were in the area. So they realized that as there was a decrease in the number of plants and number of flowers, there has been a decrease in the amount of certain insects in that area. So they analyzed their own context, plants that could grow easily in the area of the school, that they studied it in sciences. They studied the statistics of those decrease of the plants and decrease of the insects. They analyzed certain statistics from sources. So they design these hotels and how they could create it. And they created in the subject of technology. So they took all of the pieces and created some examples of hotels for insects. And with this project, we met some of the sustainable objective goals, which were number 3, health, because it promoted a better environment. We met as well this sustainable objective 4 regarding a better education, and number 9 to promote industrial implementation and innovation in industry and technology. So this is one. This was one. Another project was this one about clean energy to prevent greenhouse effect. So it was aimed for students of secondary baccalaureate. So 17-year-old students. It lasted for 4 sessions, and the aim objective was to understand electric power generation, the difference between current, alternative current, and continuous current, and avoid greenhouse gases through using clean energy. So the subjects involved were science, mathematics, engineering, and technology. So the students use dynamos to develop green energy and to move this scalestric, this game. So this was one of the projects, and they had to study in sciences those how to create that sources of energy. And the other project was the learning situation was to improve living conditions in refugee camps through design and technology. And the aim was to improve the living conditions and functionality of refugee camps through innovative and sustainable solutions. So the students should reflect on what were the conditions that the refugees, the conditions where the refugee were living, and they should design better housing, ways of housing to meet their needs. The subjects involved were sciences, mathematics, engineering, and technology. So I'm going to deal with this project more in depth. So it was aimed for students of third of secondary education, that is 14-year-old students. And specifically the subjects involved were geography, history, design, and technology. So with this project, we met the challenges that we saw for this 21st century. And you can see that some of the challenges were met: peaceful conflict resolution, healthy life, respect for the environment, critical acceptance and management of uncertainty. So the students have here quite a lot of documents and statistics to read and to understand the context where the refugee have to live. So the aim of the objective was to improve the living conditions and functionality of refugee camps through innovative and sustainable solutions. And the didactic objective was to encourage research, creativity, and collaboration among students. The aim is to develop skills in research, design, 3D modeling, and critical evaluation while addressing a real and relevant problem related to improving living conditions in refugee camps through design and technology. In mathematics, what they should do, what the students had to do? Well, design and optimizing of the space, and they used this sort of they use containers, and they had to design a better use of these containers according to the functions that these containers should be used. For instance, they need housing to house refugees. They need to design containers for community uses, such as medical uses, or to social uses, to come together, to meet there, and so that those containers should be designed in a different way according to the use. So students can calculate areas, volumes, and dimensions to adapt shipping containers to the needs of the refugees. For example, they can determine the number of containers needed to house a specific population, or calculate the surface and areas of living spaces. They should also calculate budget and resources. Students can create an estimate budget for the project, considering costs related to construction, maintenance, and logistics. They can apply concepts such as proportions, percentages, and rates of change to manage resources efficiency. In sciences, students can research refugees' health needs. In physics, some students can study the properties of materials used in container construction and evaluate their strengths, durability, and thermal insulation. In ecology, students can consider the environmental impact of proposed adaptations. And in climate analysis, the students can research the climatic conditions of the area where these containers should be, where the refugee camp is located. So they were dealing with local and global problems, and trying to get a solution for this problem. In engineering, there is the students must apply structural engineering concepts to design adaptations that are safe, efficient, and functional. This includes material strength, stability, and load distribution. Students can explore as well solutions that minimize energy consumption and resource use, for example, by designing efficient lighting and heating systems to implementing renewable energy technologies. So, and in technology, they are using 3D modeling and visualization. So they are using this sort of 3D modeling programs to model how to design, or their ideas on how to design these containers for the functions that they need them for. If it is for housing, or if it is for social meetings, or whether it is for healthy reasons, and to create a medical space. So, as we agreed on using agile or design thinking methodologies, which are to meet the needs of becoming entrepreneurial, we told them, or they used design thinking as a methodology. So the first of all, what they did was designed for the phase of empathize. So they sent a letter for the students to empathize with the situation. This was the first phase. In the second phase, the students defined the problem. They defined that how they were going to design solar powered container homes, vertical gardens and green roofs, rainwater harvesting systems, multifunctional furniture and storage, community kitchens and food distribution points, emergency medical units, and community gardens and play areas. So they defined how they were going to design all of these things. They ideate those things, they prototype, so they designed it and they prototyped it with those 3D modeling resources and programs, computer programs. And at the end, they tested. They created a project website, a website can serve as a central hub for all project-related information. This can include project objectives, student sketches, 3D designs, and assessment. It hosted blogs where students shared their experiences and learning. And there was also local community engagement. They organized presentations and exhibitions at the local community and at the school. This helped to educate the public and the community, the extent community, about the reality of refugee camps and the potential of using shipping containers for improvements. So students self-evaluated themselves. There was we collected students' feedback about the implementation of this project. There was also a process evaluation, a product evaluation of those websites and the designs of the containers and whether they made all the aims that they were trying to address. And they also assessed the skills that the students had developed. So these are some of the resources that they use and the materials that they use to implement these projects. So these are some of the examples of our projects and implementations of these projects that we did here in this in Spain, in these schools, in the schools that participated here. So thank you very much. And if you need to ask any questions, so I am available.
Thank you very much, Professor Angeles. Actually, this is really great for us sharing with us the product of the project is the real product, and we have a chance to see what's going on. Actually, as far as I know, this was from the international baccalaureate classes, right?
Yes.
Yes, this is also a great chance for us to see what's going on in IB classes, and also we try to have a chance to see what's going on STEM plus entrepreneurship into these classes. If you have any question right now, you can ask directly to Professor Angeles, and if you want to ask her later, she will share us with chat box the email address, and you can send her to your questions and you can ask her. Actually, we are on leave right now on YouTube. Probably, is there any question from there? I will ask to you the next session, Professor Angeles. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with us and sharing with this product of the project. It is really an honor for us to see the product of the STEM project. Thanks again. Okay, nice to see you, Ernesta and Nisa. among us.
Hello.
If you are okay, we can continue with the next session with Ernesta. Okay, okay, thank you very much, Angeles, again. Now the other next topic will be presented by Ernesta from Lithuania, Vilnius. She is our another partner from the Lithuania. Actually, we learn from her many things because they are working in many years about STEM and entrepreneurship. And actually, they are the practitioners of the project. That is really great chance for us to see what they did, and we learned many things from them. Now she will present us the entrepreneurial part of their schools, and she will see. But before doing that, I want from her introduce herself, giving some information about her, and then speech about this presentation. Thanks again. I can switch to you, Ernesta, if you're okay.
Okay. Thank you. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, very nice.
Okay. Can you see my slides?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're
So, hello everyone. As I was already introduced, my name is Ernesta and I'm from Lithuania. And we, as a school, are well, a partner school in this Erasmus Plus project. And at my school, I work mostly as a deputy principal for education, but I'm also responsible for STEAM education and a little bit responsible for implementing entrepreneurship into our STEAM lessons and activities as well. And we've been doing these things for maybe 7 years already, but we are trying to become better and better. And this project was one more opportunity to go ahead and to do well as much as we can. So today I would like to share with you the aspect of the collaboration of schools and business. And this is one of the ways that our school implements STEAM plus E plus entrepreneurship. And we have a very specific program prepared, and I will present you, and will share some practical moments about how our school finds some ways to make some partnerships with business companies or other institutions. So, but first of all, I would like to say that our school is a little bit different from other schools that implement STEAM in Lithuania, even, I mean. Because at our school, STEAM is understood a little bit wider, and we sometimes joke, but actually it's not a joke. We say that STEAM is a philosophy of education, because it's a way of thinking and doing, not only at school, not only in a lesson, but also in our lives, in our daily routines, actually, because this is the way of understanding and perceiving the environment. So we have to learn to act and to do STEAM in our lives as well. And in this case, several aspects are very important, like global vision, integral thinking, overall perception, analysis, of course, and creation of interfaces and connections between society, between members of society, those who can help us actually implement a lot of useful and valuable things. And this is why we have to think always by doing, and not only steaming, but also thinking about soft skills, entrepreneurial skills, about the purity of idea which we are going to analyze. about the purposeful work that we are doing, not to waste our time, and of course about the analysis of results, because without the analysis, results are not important at all, because we cannot improve ourselves. So to start about STEAM and collaboration with business companies, I just wanted to present you in a very short, the philosophy of STEAM at our school. So now, why business? It's a very easy answer to this simple question, actually, because real people in the real world solve real problems, which we cannot solve as a school. That's why we decide to invite people from the real world to show us. Because we can only speak to our students, but we cannot show. We cannot give them some practical examples or to suggest them practical activities to experience a job, a real job from the real world. That's why we decided to invite business people to become some kind of partners, education partners, not only, as social partners that are somewhere, somehow, but as real partners that come to school, or we visit them, and we do lessons together, we do activities together. And in this case, we not only enrich educational content, but we can really call ourselves a school without borders, which is, well, very modern these days, that teachers and students can do brilliant things, not only being at school, but also outside. So business really helps us to be a school without borders. And
Nessa,
also,
sorry for interruption. We see
yes.
only the first page of the presentation. If you
Oh,
share
really?
this, if you
Because,
share the screen right now, that will be more okay for us.
but I am sharing actually, and I see my slides changing.
You see, but we don't see it because you only shared probably you use probably two screens, right?
Yes.
And because of that, we only see the other.
Okay,
You
so let me think now. Okay, I will stop sharing. Yes, because I showed quite many things. Elena, yes, so just a minute. I have some help here.
Okay.
Can you
Yeah,
see now
yeah,
something new?
Try to change it something.
Just a minute. Oh, is it changing?
Yes, it works right now.
No, you
Thank you.
didn't see the slide, right?
Yes,
So I was just talking about this.
yes.
Okay, so I will give you now 30 seconds, just to see what was
Okay.
my speech about. Yes, so this slide was about the STEAM and entrepreneurship, like a philosophy and the way of acting and doing and thinking, not only at school, but also in our daily lives, to be creative and to be, how to say, to be able to manage somehow to solve our problems if we have them, even in our daily lives, daily routines. So again, I'm trying to change now. Can you see those changes, dear Mehmet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. So
Yes, thank you.
what I already tried to explain about business partners that we decided to call to our school to become like education partners. So these were three aspects for the reality for the real world and real people, about School Without Borders, and the help of keeping us, teachers, with innovations, because we can read, we can watch on TV, we can discuss between us, but we are not these experts working in some specific fields, and we really do not know the newest things. And only these companies, some particular companies, of course, they can help us to provide our students with the newest things happening in the world, which actually this at the same time helps them to motivate and to think about some future career, some future investments. Sometimes when we tell other people about business, like partners next to the teacher, we hear a question. Okay, but what are the benefits to business? Okay, we understand that business comes to school, the benefits are clear, the values are clear, more or less, but why they should be interested to come to school or to invite schools to their companies and to show everything inside and explain. So the answer is also very simple, because they are expecting those young people to come someday, somehow, to be their co-workers. So they have to open their doors and to show what they are, what they do, what they can, and what kind of people they expect, and what they can suggest to those future co-workers, future people coming probably someday to their companies. So at the same time, we break stereotypes by saying that a teacher is a person who knows everything or has to know everything. No way, not at all. The real expert knows the real information. So we don't, as teachers, we don't need to pretend if we know everything, right? So if we lack of some information, of some newest info or some elements, we can rely on those people that are from real world, from real examples. So at the same time, we can really suggest our students the combination of theory and practice. So business comes as a partner, and because of that, we decided to prepare a particular program, because we had school and business somehow. But if to look at those two words, well, they are in some distance to each other. But we say, okay, let's collaborate, let's be partners. Maybe you can come to our school and give some lectures. Maybe we can organize some excursions to our students. Maybe you can, sponsor some of our events. And somewhere we had students, just like more or less this collaboration was like entertainment. And we decided that it's not enough to us. It's not good. We imagine those things a little bit in a different way, and we say, okay, let's come closer now. Let's come closer and speak not only about some sponsorship, some lectures or excursions, but we have much more aspects to collaborate. So we can make some volunteering things. We can organize joint events. We can do shadowing programs. We can give consultations to each other, actually. And first of all, what we understood as a school, first of all, we have to pay attention to teachers. We have to strengthen teachers, provide them with some knowledge, with some competences and skills, because only a teacher is a person who stands close to the student and each day. So to to provide students with very specific information, to improve their skills, to provide them with some knowledge and competences, we ourselves have to be prepared. So business comes to help teachers to grow and to be better educators. This is our partnership. And we prepared such kind of a program, which we called Education Partners Program. And the purpose of this program, as I already mentioned, is to create effective cooperation between business and school, not only imaginary, not only like more or less social partners that can do some small things sometimes, but we have a contract with some companies, with very big companies of Lithuanian, and in this way, we agree on some specific things, on some elements that we are going to do together in an education process, both general and engineering, since our school is an engineering lyceum. So we have two programs. So business really comes with a great help also to implement engineering ideas. And we decided to work to collaborate with business through several aspects, elements, and tried to make objectives and discuss them with the partners, future partners. And we came to such objectives that this program allows teachers to do visits to education partner companies to familiarize with business and scientific innovations, and to see the opportunities, to see the environment, and to understand what I, as a teacher, could use in my lessons, and what I could say to my student, and why should I take my students to this company, what I'm going to present, to explain, what kind of practical maybe activities there will be given to my students. So always thinking about the benefits and values. So one aspect, teachers' visits to those partner companies. Another aspect, meetings between education partners and students. So these meetings can also be at partner companies, or they can come to the school. They come straight to the lesson as a second teacher in a lesson. One more aspect about consultations, because at our school, students do their annual scientific research papers in STEAM and engineering. So those people from various business fields, they can become like experts who provide students with, well, very true and very valuable consultations. Another aspect of collaboration could be done by doing some joint events, such as scientific conferences, entrepreneurship seminars, and so on. And we already had some of them. Also, when these days, when we speak about volunteering things as valuable things, we engage our students to become volunteers at the events of education partners, and the cooperation is possible in this way, because students may see, they can see the company from the inside, all the processes, they can be aware of some smaller elements that they couldn't see if they couldn't if they couldn't collaborate at all. And the last thing is that if companies decide, if they see the benefits of such collaboration, they can try to split the idea, and they can also collaborate with other schools. So in this way, we would become some experts that provide them with the knowledge how to collaborate with schools. What kind of collaboration is needed, in which aspects, in which ways, what help is needed, what we would, as a school, would like to get from business companies in real education process. One more program to promote entrepreneurial skills of our students is, GEMS, but we see that it's about girls in engineering, math, and science. And this program started at our school firstly to promote girls' interest in engineering, scientific things, and also to develop their leadership and entrepreneurial competences. But then we decided that not only girls has to be, always, we cannot strengthen and only girls without boys, because boys also have to understand that girls can be equal in scientific field, in some career choices, and so on. So we decided that now all our students should participate in this program, but this program is based by inviting leaders, women leaders of Lithuania that made a perfect career or do some very high things in politics or other fields of acting. And we invite those women to school to tell girls and other and all the community actually now about their way of how they became what they are at the moment. And they encourage girls and boys now, and they tell their stories, their success stories, and in this way they help us to grow the leadership and entrepreneurial skills of our students. But these things are not so easy. It may sound that, oh yes, we just invite, agree, they come, we are all happy, success, and that's it. No, it's not so easy, because first of all, this partnership has to be understood as equal mutual collaboration. And we have to understand our needs, first of all, to analyze our needs. If we really need it, what we need, what exactly we need, right? So competence and skill needs analysis is one aspect at the very beginning. Then, of course, we have to prepare some documents to make some program to see the picture of what we are going to do. Then to search for some business companies, to have long conversations until we all understand what we are talking about, what we expect from each other, what are our expectations. Then we speak about integration processes, about schedule preparation, about contracts. And in each way, in each step, we have to think about who can do this at school. If we really have people who can, give their time to those things, because they take much time, Do we have people who are not afraid to call, to business companies and to deal with them? Because somehow teacher is standing in front of students and very brave and, performing a lot of nice things, but in that another world, which is outside the school, they lack of some competences to discuss with business people. So these things are quite difficult, but possible to do. And if to discuss from the very beginning in the right way, they could become very useful and valuable for students and teachers as well. So the main things we have to agree with business are several things, both for both sides. So the courage of not knowing. Teachers, also business people, they are experts in their fields. But when they need to work together, they should be, how to say, prepared not to know everything and to know only while collaborating. Commitment to work together. So both sides should be responsible to give the best to the students. And mutual trust is another aspect which also should be understood very well and followed, like equivalence. We cannot say that, oh, business, is something and teacher is somewhere. No, not at all. Equality is the main aspect to understand that we are experts, we are working together and working to provide students with the best we can. So constructive cooperation and pursuit of one goal. These are the main aspects when starting collaborating with business companies. And the values are probably very clear, because in this way we can develop a lot of things, ability to identify problem, because we show the real world, the real things, the real examples, and we invite students to do some real practices. We show the importance of planning and implementing something in business field. So we are growing entrepreneurial skills of students. We develop their critical thinking, argumented way of thinking, also analytical skills and practical application abilities. At the same time, we show students the way of interdisciplinary teaching and learning, and perception of the surrounding world. We also develop students' creative engineering thinking, which is based on problem solving. And by this straight collaborating, very close collaborating with business, we definitely develop our students' entrepreneurial skills. This happens by doing very practical things, not only listening to a teacher saying that you have to learn, you have to think about your future, you will be choosing your jobs, and think about your future careers, prepare yourselves, do your best. Yes, that is true. We have to say this as teachers. But if we can show the real things happening outside the school, why not? And if these people say, okay, we will come and we will help you, dear teachers, then it's a brilliant idea, which we are actually doing at our school, and of course still improving and seeing a lot of benefits of this collaboration. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ernesta from Lithuania, Vilnius, for sharing with us the entrepreneurial part of your school. Actually, that's my first time here about the girls in STEM in your school, right? Also, this is really nice to hear about that because this was the main focus for this project. That is really great for us. Also, you shared many things for us to understand the implementation of entrepreneurial part for STEM education. As far as I remember from your school, Vilnius, because you are a technical school and you are related with a very prestigious university in Vilnius. And this is really great opportunity for us to understand the implementation and the standards for the STEM implementing entrepreneurial part. Really great opportunity for us. Maybe some teachers here will be interested in your school and the ideas comes from your practical part. And if they want to ask question directly to you right now, they can ask. They have an option to that. Please write your email address to chat box, and if they want to ask later, they can have an option to ask you directly. Thank you very much for your valuable time, and it is really it's really honor for us to host you a valuable partner from the Lithuania. Thanks for again for everything.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If you're okay right now, we can continue with the next session with Dr. Nizla from Portugal.
Hello.
Hello, nice to see you again, Niza. Actually, we learned from each other. We also learned from you because you also have a technical part for our project, also the practitioners for our project. That's really great for us. I want from you introduce yourself shortly and present your presentation. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I will start trying to share.
Okay.
Are you watching or not yet?
Yes, we saw it.
Now
Okay,
you
nice.
can.
Try to change it. We will
Yeah.
see. Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you and meet you again online. It's a pity that the project is coming to an end, and I think we've learned a lot from each other, and we will surely apply this knowledge in future activities and projects with or in European projects or even at the school. Okay, today what I am going to show you is how to apply a business model canvas to a student STEAM project in order to promote entrepreneurship. It's just a way of working with students this entrepreneurship skills that they need when they start working, even if not as entrepreneur and buying their own company, but being an employee, we also need to be entrepreneurship, and we also need to think as an entrepreneurship, and this is a way to improve their knowledge after doing a project or when they are doing a project. Is just an example, a practical one. We have vocational courses. Our school is a vocational school. The students stay there for 3 years. And at the end of these 3 years, they have to present a project in order to finish the course. This is a project presented in front of a jury, an external jury, that validates if they have applied or not their knowledge when they are in a vocational course. For these entrepreneurship activities are a part of their training and not of their projects, and we can use it for that. So we will understand today what is a business plan, and then I will show you the example. The business plan that I'm going to show you is the business model canvas, is the most used tool used in order to define a business plan. It is a simple document that describes the objectives of the business plan, a business idea, and all the steps towards its achievement, minimizing the uncertainty and the risk. Most of the students, when we start doing this training, they don't know what is a business plan. They don't think in order to all the steps they have to do. So it's a bit difficult for them to understand at the beginning, but when they reach to the end, they have already an idea on how to think as a business. So this business model canvas proposes a simplified structure for the development of a plan. It is structured into 9 elements or parts. We start with customer segment, with value proposition. We continue with the channels, the customer relationships. Then we go to revenue stream, key activities, key resources, key partners, and then the cost structure. I will show you later the scheme, and I will show you how to apply all these parts. So altogether, these elements provide a coherent vision of the core parts of a business idea. At least this is how businessmen think as a plan should be structured. So we have to see some advantages of using this tool or this model. The first one is to focus on what we intend to do. When we are applying this business, we are focusing our thoughts on the things we want to do and to apply. It's also flexible. It is easier to try and modify the information because we keep it in a single page, even if it is a large one. So we can see it and we can go and change it. Transparency also, because this is a teamwork. It's not for one single person. We need a lot of information in order to fill in this tool. So the team will be all at the same point, thinking together and understanding the vision and the plan when they have one single document and they have been working on it. And it is visual. It is easy to understand, provides a common language for the team. So these are the advantages of using this business model. And it is important that we can transmit this to the students and they see the advantages. Because if it is difficult at the beginning, at the end, they will come up with a final product when everything is on the right place. So this is the scheme of the business model canvas. I put it in English. I think you understand. We will later see how we can fill in all these parts of the project, but we can do it basically with any idea that the students have or they want to develop. So now I will show you the students' STEAM project, Parabolic Solar Collector. It was a STEAM project done some years ago from our students, and where we applied then the business model canvas to this model. They started to have the idea. The teachers worked together to build a parabolic solar collector. It was an idea from the students, and then the teachers worked on it. So this parabolic solar collector was a STEAM project. the courses were renewable energy, metalwork production, and electronics and automation. So 3 courses that we had at the moment in the school. The main goal was to build a prototype for obtaining potable water through solar energy. It was a challenge. Most of the students have not the knowledge to do it, but they worked together in order to build it. First thing, they tried to ask the why. The need for potable water is a challenge due to problems that arise from the lack of it around the world. We have many countries that lack water, potable water especially. Population living in dry areas, huge population clusters with not so strong economic resources, specific groups, or even people who want to live off the grid and don't want to use the resources from other sources. So even for drinking, sometimes polluted waters are often a source for the spread of illness, and the pressure over the soils to get the water is rising, and we need to find some other ways of getting potable waters. So the students have conceived the prototype to assure the production of potable water using solar concentrators through the process of distillation and condensations. So now we can see here the gathering of all the disciplines and all the knowledge from chemistry, physics, from biology, all together, working with the practical things like renewable energies and metalwork production. Some of the constraints or the limits to the project, it needs to be a friendly use prototype, easy to transport and economically affordable for being marketed. So now we put in some constraints that already have this information that we need in order to fill in the business model canvas. The construction of the project involved several phases that included first the preliminary studies, then sizing and selecting of materials, after the model construction and testing, and optimizing the results. After that, because it's difficult for students to do it at the same time as they are building the prototype, they defined the business plan. This is the result, the final testing result that the students did. They already produced the device according to their knowledge and the specifications that I told you previously. And here it is working. So the sun is shining and they're producing water steam, and it will be condensed in water lately, and so it was successful project. Now, introducing business model canvas after that. Here I put it only some topics because it is important that students understand this connection. First, we have to introduce the models to students and explain it. What is it? Why is it used, the purpose, and how can it be used? Only after that, we can work with the students in small groups and doing the step-by-step feeling. We can give solutions, suggestions. We have to provide them time to think as a group and also time to research and investigate. It is not a thing to do in one classroom or two. We have to give them proper time so they can find good ideas to fill in, because it is the first time they are learning that. And if we want a proper model business, we have to let them learn by themselves, by doing research, and then coming up with the final answers. Then we ask them to present the results to the class. Each group presents. And after the presentations, we have to ask the class to provide constructive feedback on each group. Only then we will fill the final document and as an improvement of the previous work done by the class. So this is how we apply this model in this project. Now, I will show you how are we going to apply these steps. We start with step 1, which is customer segment. Customer segment. We need to answer the following questions to fill in this segment. Who are the clients? What do they think? What do they feel, see, or do? What we are asking the students to do is what I've shown you in previous slide, is the client, we saw that is someone that lives in dry areas or in big communities with no access to potable water, or in regions where they want to live off the grid. We have different clients here. We should list the ideal clients and define a profile or persona with their main informations. If we want to commercialize the product after this prototype, we have to ask to whom are we going to sell it. Not only all of the world can be interested, but we have to have a focus. And we consider all the tasks after that by defining this profile, this persona profile. So here, our client was one living in poor or dry areas where it is needed potable water, and they don't have many resources, and we need something like, as you remember, it's low maintenance for these communities. The second step will be the value proposition. The value proposition, so as you can see, this is not starting left to right or right to left. Only at the end, it will make sense, everything gathered. Value propositions, we have to explain to our sellers, to our clients, what is the solution that we want to offer. What is that we are producing and we will offer them. If it is well explained, everybody will understand. And we also have to provide what differentiates our ideas or products from others that already exist in the market. I am explaining this for this idea that I've shown you, but we can use it as for services. We can use it for other ideas that we want to propose, even for teachers or activities that students want to do in school. So this is all kind of different ways to use Canvas, but all of them with the important task of promoting students' skills in entrepreneurship. So all of the team must be well known about these value propositions. They must agree on what is important. So in this case, they will have to explain how it works, the solution for the solar convector, for the production of steam, and then from that to potable water. And if there are other situations in the market that already do that, why theirs is different from the others. Value propositions should not be saying everything about the project, but only the most important topics. It is not an extensive way of explaining things, but the most important topics. The step 3 are the channels. So here, when we fill this part, we will have to ask the students to provide the ways of reaching the client. How shall we reach the client? Which of the channels are we going to elect as the best channels according to the client profile? I mean, if we are, for example, in this project, if we are talking about long distant communities or places with no water, no low resources, we know that these days TV will not be the most important way. Probably everybody has an internet connection by phone, but we have to check if this is the best way to reach these clients, or if we want to reach them directly, or for example, we want to promote this through the government that gives these communities these solar convectors. So this is only possible to define if we have set the persona as the governments. Because if we say this is the community and the individual, it is different to communicate that or to communicate with governments. If we want to reach governments, we will have to have presentations to the organs and not to social media. So the channels and the customer relationships are the ones that will define the communication interface. We should also consider if the selected channels will give you enough visibility to the business idea or product. So here we have probably several channels and not only one. After this step, we have the customer relationship. So they are here all together, one and the other. In these customer relationships, we should think, how are we going to keep the relationship with the clients? Keep, not start. The channels we will start, but we have to keep this relationship. Are we having 1, 2, 3 solar convectors or only one? Is this solar convector has a duration of 5 years and then we have to replace it, or we will have upgrade versions, something like that? That's what we have to put in this part of the tool. And we have to think also how we can make the client contact personalized after sale. This is important for retention of the clients. So when we explain the students about these important things, they start thinking in other activities as that, and not only, oh, we have a great product and we will sell it and that's all. That's the important part of these entrepreneurship skills. After, we have the revenue stream. The revenue stream is basically the company's source of income. It could be only one or more than one. We should think of everything that represents an entry for the business or the idea. The clients, the marketing strategy, the producers, the product, the costs of the product, everything that can give us some income, we can put it here. We have to detail how much the client is available to pay and how will he do it. So when we are thinking of the solar convector, if we set for governments, we will see, for example, big purchases for several communities, and probably we will have a contest. We will have to fill in some papers in order to do this contest and propose, and he will pay for the time the product will be promoted. But if we sell it to individual clients, it will be different. The prices will be different. So we have to think of all that when we are filling the revenue stream. We can have different revenue streams, because if we were promoting something like a t-shirt or like some informations, we could have merchandising, sorry, or some other ideas in order to the income will be greater. After that, we will do the key activities step. The key activities step are the activities that are strictly needed to deliver the value for the clients. We should make a list what we need to do as the solution of a problema for the ideal client. Okay, we have to list the activities from the first to the last, so we know what we are doing. After, we can recheck and say, we don't need this key activity, we can skip it, or we can add some others. But at this time, we have to think that we have to buy the steel to do the convector, we have to buy the other components for the convector, we have to put it all together. Do we need machines to bend the material? We will be needing to send it away for clients. We probably need to make it in parts and how we will assemble it. So we need to think of all the activities needed to do that. We are then on the key resources step. As you can see, they are all together also in this scheme. The key resources should be defined after determining the key activities of the business idea or product. Of course, if we have the key activities, we know the resources we need, even if it is people, machines, materials, or other kind of marketing things, everything that we need, it is in the key activities. So after that, we can fill in the key resources. If we need a big marketing campaign, we should probably need a key, a marketing company or something that understands for marketing. If we don't have this key activity in marketing, we won't be needing the human resource or the company about marketing. So we probably will doing this not step by step, but going back and forth and applying it as going back, rethink the activities, and then going forward again. The step 8 will be the key partners. The key partners should be we have to do a list again of all the partnerships that will contribute for the delivery of the product idea. For example, if we need licenses to do this place or company to assemble, we probably need the partnership with the municipality. If we have to deliver some parts of production to a company, we need to have some reliable partners. We need also suppliers. So we need transport companies to take it for all over the places all over the world. So we need to have some list of partners where we can interact with them, and we know who are important for the production, for the delivery, for the quality. So this should also be thinking strategically. And finally, the step 9, the cost structure. We need to think about costs. In every entrepreneurship project, we need to think about the necessary costs for the execution and maintenance of our activities. They should be all listed and students must have the conscience that we do not work except for a prototype, of course, if we want to have the profit for the production that we are doing. So this is not for saying we shouldn't do projects like voluntary projects, like prototyping. No, but we should think how we could improve, for example, the prototype in order to sell it as an important piece and have some value for that. The price of the product cannot be too expensive, so people won't buy it, and cannot be too low that the ones who are producing cannot have a profit or cannot pay the expenses. So it is important to think of the sustainability of the business. In this part is not the small details, the small costs, but even the big picture. The idea of the most expensive activities, we will get them in here. We will say the cost structure is to build a company is too high, so let's give it to other companies and we will assemble it all together. The costs for the transport are bigger. How are we going to put it in small parts like IKEA and send it to build on their own, the people to build on their own. So we must think of the cost structure and see if it is viable. Finally, it's not a step 10 on the schedule, on the example, but we have to have this step. We have to, after filling, we have to analyze it, to think, does it make sense? Can we improve it? Can we put it as different in a different way? What can we change in order to improve the model? So I am sorry about this blank sheet. Okay, now I am already. If you have questions, I will be delightful to answer you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Niza, for valuable sharing with us related to business canvas model. And probably there are some implementation points, right, for us. Let me move this. No, not this. Let me. Where is it? Where is it actually? There are another people. Actually, there are another countries. I'm not sure who is he. Let me find. Sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much for sharing with us for valuable business canvas model with us. It is really important for us to understand how we can implement such an idea to STEM education, because you are the practitioner part and your school was technical school and you have many things to do that STEM education. Also, you do many things, right? You are selling products to other business plans, right? Also, we try to understand with the help of you how we can implement such a big idea, the entrepreneurial idea, to the STEM education. And thank you very much for sharing your experiences and the business canvas model. If you have any question right now from the participants, we can take it right now. If they want to ask later, if you write your email address to the chat box, they can send it to you. Thank you very much for sharing your us, and it was really honor for us to host you, a valuable partner from Portugal. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay. If we all okay right now, we can continue. Dr. Gürse Aşık from Bahçeşehir University in Istanbul, from other valuable partner from Turkey. And we started with this project from the beginning to now. If he is okay right now, I want from him to shortly explanation himself and then continue with the presentation. If you're okay, Gürse, you can continue right now.
Yes. Hello, Mehmet.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I just tried to connect my voice. My name is Gürsel Aşık. I am from Bahçeşehir University. My original area of expertise is mathematics education and STEM education also. And I think the last presenter, right, Mehmet? As our
Yes,
last
the last one.
presenter, I will share our experiences, what we see and what we did in our trainings. So let me share my presentation. Just give me a second, please. Yes, I think you can see
Yes.
my
Yes, we see that.
presentation. The topic of my presentation is Teaching for Tomorrow, Fostering Entrepreneurship Through Integrated STEM Activities. Actually, this is the core of our project also. So it's not only for us, this is what we try to do as a group of researchers, as a group of partners in this project. So we know the importance of STEM activities, STEM education, and we try to integrate entrepreneurship and foster entrepreneurship through these integrated STEM activities. And so let's skip this part. Again, the same topic. At Bahçeşehir University, we are working as a STEM center also for more than 5 years. And we have worked with more than 1,000 teachers just to improve their teaching STEM skills. And we have some STEM leader teacher professional development programs. We created early STEM curriculum for the early age, for the early grades. And also we have, for young researchers, we have young STEM researchers program. And actually we developed, we construct a tool that may help students use some do some measurements with some sensors. So we have Lobster dynamic data analysis tool, and we also use this tool in our activities. If you want to learn more, you can visit our websites. Now, in STEM activities, we used our framework, which is developed by Sencer Çorlu, and this is the main STEM model, theoretical model for all of us. In this model, just give me a second. In this model, we have at the core of, I know it's a bit difficult to read, but at the core, we have authentic problems for the knowledge society. That means students and teachers, which is we worked in our project, starts with a problem. Sometimes we assign the problem to them, which is related with the daily life issues. So we call it as the authentic problem for knowledge society, and they search answers for the problem, and they try to do a project about this problem. They try to find solution or solutions according to this problem. And as a cognitive areas, we have science technology, which is STEM, mathematics, engineering, and also we have cognitive processes, scientific inquiry, computational thinking, project-based learning, and mathematical modeling. And we have main aims and some processes also, as you can see. I will not give the details about it. But in all activities, we try to follow this module, this theoretical framework, through the STEM learning cycle. And this is the study units for, this is the teacher training units by working on a STEM project, which is followed by the teachers. We have authentic problems for knowledge society. Teachers the participants starts with the ideation. They try to find some ideas. They try to find some suggestions for this authentic problem, and they search for facts about this problem and any constraint limitations. They should keep in mind that they should keep in mind the constraint, the limitations while solving the problem. And on the second part, they start product development. They start to develop product, like a prototype, to solve this problem, make refinements through iterative cycles. They make refinements on this prototype, and at the end, the dissemination and reflection points. Now, for integrating entrepreneurship to the STEM process, we start with the first one, and while trying to solve the problems, participants try to find the unique creative which have a value for being an entrepreneurship in this process, in the problem solving part. And at the second part, at the fact finding part, they should search for entrepreneurship side. They should also search marketing, the possible answers, the possible solutions for the given problem, and they try to put what is new, what is creative as a solution to this problem. So this part is another side that we integrate STEM entrepreneurship, and at the end, product development, of course, iterative cycling, iterative processes on prototype. We also work with teachers, with participants on entrepreneurship on this product side. Just an example for one of the questions, one of the STEM questions that we shared with the teachers. Sorry. For example, this is one of the general questions. They try to find some solutions to product and home farming. So they work on this issue, and they try to generate creative, unique responses for this problem. And in the program, in the content of our program, of course, we focus on STEM and STEM education and entrepreneurship at first sight. We have some presentations, some experts for the entrepreneurship side. They try to focus on value proposition, business model, as Mirza mentioned, market search, feasibility, ethical issues, being a team, cooperating in a team, some risk, rewards, and iterative testing, piloting also, what they need, financial issues, financial planning. So we have some presentations for being an entrepreneurship, for the parts of the entrepreneurship. We also focus on motivate teachers to use generative AI tools, since they can easily create some ideas, they can generate some ideas, or for example, at the value proposition steps, we force them to utilize generative AI tools just to create their value propositions for their products. And also, shortly, we focus on machine deep learning, big data, and algorithmic thinking in our training modules. We also try to motivate teachers by watching films. The Social Network, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Startup.com are some films that we suggest them to watch just to motivate how to be an entrepreneurship, how to be an entrepreneur, what they need to focus, how they should keep their motivation active on this process. So, and also help them to think about the steps of being and problems that they may encounter during the entrepreneurship process. So, the first two parts, creating a value proposition part, at the beginning of the problem, we force teachers, we force participants to identify the customer needs. what customers try to find. They Google it, they ask ChatGPT, and they think within the group, and they try to decide what the customer need is, and they start the project. They start finding a solution on this, finding a product on this manner. So identifying customers was one of the parts beforehand they should focus on beforehand the prototype development. And also unique selling point. At unique selling point, that means the point that makes their product viable, which means, for example, for Nike, they use value proposition as just do it, and for Uber, they ask drive by yourself cheaply. They have such a unique value proposition, and we try to generate, we motivated our participants to generate these unique selling points. This is one of the funniest moments for the training period, and they try to find the short and valuable propositions for their own products that they produced at the end of STEM activity. And on the second part, we ask them to evaluate their viability of an idea, of this idea, and feasibility. The process of this product is feasible to sell or feasible for the customers, for the clients. So they think about it. They try to find an answer on this point. And as I said, market search, how they sell it, what might be the primary, their primary marketing area, B2B, B2C models, business to business, business to customers. They learn this and they try to decide how to sell their products. And business model, business development model, at the end, financial issues, scalability, whether their product is scalable to sell or not. And we also focus on the pitching task, which means how to present their products in 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 10 minutes. So rather than making an overall presentation, they try to emerge, they try to focus on the primary selling strategies while presenting their products. So we try to improve their abilities on this manner. And of course, we have other issues that we have focused, how to test their prototype, the levels of prototype development. We showed them 9 levels of prototype development, and how to test it in iterative process and cycle lines, which parts they need to focus, and of course, ethical issues within the group, and also from the business perspective. And we try to motivate them at first by assigning the roles in a team, and later they decided their own roles within the team in terms of entrepreneurship, stage entrepreneurship skills. We try to help them to develop team mentality. So this was what we did in our project, and what we focus on our project. If you have any question, of course, I am happy to answer your questions. I think time is okay, right, Mehmet?
Yes, okay. Thank you very much sharing your presentation with us. Actually, with the help of these presentations, we try to understand the entrepreneurial part implementing to STEM education. Also, almost 2.5 hours, we are continuing with these sessions. It is almost done. We finalized everything. Actually, with the help of these great members, with great team, with different 6 6 different countries with 7 different members from prestigious universities. We almost finalized the project in 2 years. The starting point was disastrous for us because we started this project in the earthquake, the big earthquake in Gaziantep and 11 cities in Turkey. Actually, we hope that we almost try to forget it, but the earthquake doesn't want to forget itself. That's the big point, big issue for us. But from starting to now, as far as I understood, there are many things changed in our life. I moved to US and many people changed their life. Many people changed their work, and maybe many of us continue with different cities. There are many things changed in 2 years, but in 2 years also one thing changed from my mind is that to understand the entrepreneurship part for implementing into STEM education. Actually, we started this project with the help of these 7 different members from Lithuania, Portugal, Spain, Italy, and Greece and Turkey, 2 partners. So with the help of this great team, we try to teach and train 140 teachers, almost done, and we collected many data. Also, we prepared a scale and will be published in a prestigious journal. At the moment, we send it. It is in review process right now. Also, we prepared a good ebook considering the implementing entrepreneurship into STEM, and we are trying to finalize this ebook with an editorial board. And if we publish it, we will share with the people who joined us, and it will be open published, by the way. Also, we produce some materials related to STEM plus entrepreneurship part. Also, we did many things actually. We did after and before, pre and post test scores of the teachers, what they learned, what they gained, and prior and post knowledge of the teachers. We know many things from the teachers, we learn from them because they do many things for STEM education, but also we try to learn them how we can implement the great philosophy entrepreneurial part to a STEM class. That was really great opportunity for us because that is not just a contribution to the practitioner part of the STEM education, this is also the contribution to the theory part of the entrepreneurial to STEM education, because we know that from the research fields there is a big gap, the entrepreneurial and the STEM, too many different ideas, too many different things, because when we are trying to implement the STEM approach in our classroom, we don't consider the cost effectiveness, the marketing, and business canvas, other things. We ignore them, we don't care about them. But with the help of that, maybe at the end, that will be the contribution to the researchers for the next future, how we can implement this entrepreneurial part for our STEM education. Also, with the help of that, I really understand how being a good teamwork with different countries, how we can work together, how we can work uh, for this big idea. Because from beginning to now, I understood we discussed many things actually from beginning to now. Maybe after 10 years, we will also discuss because these 2 big issues, how can be implemented. But as far as I remember from the beginning of STEM education, integration of science, technology, engineering, and math is also another big idea. So, but today we understood we can implement these big issues. Also, we can add more things to the STEM education because we can add art, architecture, aesthetic. Also, in the literature, we see not STEM, we see right now STEAM. A stands for everything. So, my belief here is implementing entrepreneurial part for the STEM education is another big philosophy, as far as I understood from beginning to now. Also, with the help of this project, we also try to write the standards for the STEM education, STEM plus E education, by the way. But we understood many things from the reaction from the teachers, from the perspectives of the students, from the perspectives of you, the partners. Thanks for everyone contributing to this project and for the STEM education as well. Thanks for the future. We will see, I hope to see the STEM and STEM plus e-education into classrooms. Maybe we will see the big picture later, not now. But my idea here is we try to open a door to the researchers for the next future. If you want to share an idea right now, maybe from Gürsu, Euripides, Ernesta, Nizda, Birsen Hocam, Angeles, here, another colleague I don't see. Yes, we are all here right now. If you want to share small speech, you can share with us right now. Thank you for your all contributions. Maybe we can start with small, one sentence from each partner from each country. That will be great for us. Maybe we can start with Euripides and continue with Ernesta, Nizda, Angeles, Gürsu, Birsen Hocam. We can continue just with one sentence and then we can finalize or Green Europe, the last part, the last work package for the presentation. Okay, that's it. Yes, Euripides.
Yes. Well, first of all, it was a pleasure to meet you all and work with you. Really, I
Thank you.
have learned a lot. We did have experience in STEM before, but we never tried to connect it with entrepreneurship, and that was one of the big aspects of this project. So I thank you for all the insights you gave me, and taking this chance, I wish you to have good holidays, Merry Christmas, and a happy and prosperous New Year.
Thank you. Thank you, Euripides. Thank you. Yes, Nizda.
Well, that's a lot to say. I would like to continue to discuss all these matters with all of you because it's a very interesting way of learning different things, not only STEAM, not only entrepreneurship, but also how different cultures, different places in the world can use the same concepts and implement it. So this project was very enriching for me, and I've made friends, and I hope to continue to have friends through all of our lives. And wish you all a wonderful Christmas, and we still have a lot of work to do, so we will do it.
Okay,
So
thank
thank
you.
you very much to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, Gürsu, Hocam.
I think this is really a good project and fruitful project, and we learned many things. We learned a lot in this project, and I believe that it has brought up many topics that we can work on, we can focus on, and I think we have new project ideas after this one also. And of course, most importantly, I have had the chance to meet with some amazing people like all of you, all the partners, Nilza, Euripides, Birsen Hocam, Mehmet. Actually, we know each other from beforehand. But I think I was lucky. Wish you all a happy Christmas, wonderful Christmas, and I hope we will meet again.
Thank you very much, Gürsu Hocam. Birsen Hocam. We don't hear you, Hocam. The voice. the mic not open. It is not open right now. Ernesta, Hüsam hocam, if you open it, we will try to.
Yes, I'm back. Something was
Yes.
wrong with my Zoom.
No,
Sorry.
no problem. We are taking the last speech from each partner. We can take from you if you are okay.
Yes, and sorry for my camera again. Friday, everything is happening at the same time. Camera is not working now.
No
Something
problem.
wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
so what to say? Thank you very much. It was a very great opportunity to collaborate with all of you, a lot of universities, the only one school a real school, because Nils, I think your school is a bit different. You are somewhere again a bit higher. So nice people, great ideas, various practices and experiences, beautiful countries, and so on. So really an interesting project. The topic is ours, our school's topic. So it was interesting and not very difficult to be into this project. So thank you everyone for your input and for being so kind and nice people. Thank you, Mehmet, for inviting us to this project.
Thank you very much, Ernesta.
Yes, I hope we will finish the project successfully.
Yes.
And, yes, so let's just do the
Thank
best we can until the end of this month, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much sharing your ideas with us. Yes, Angeles, are you with us?
Mehmet, I can speak now.
Okay,
I
okay,
open-
Hüsam hocam.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice to see you and all of you. Mehmet, you know Mehmet is not in Gaziantep. We missed him very much.
We miss you too, hocam.
And thank you for each of you. I would like to first thank you. It was nice to meet each of you. I hope in the future we have a new project with the members of in this project. Okay, you are all my good friends now. I hope we keep in touch in the future also. Thank you.
Thank you very much, hocam, for sharing your ideas with us. We learned from each other many things. We learned
Many
from this
things,
project. We had many things. In the next future projects, we will do our best. I hope this collaboration will continue for the next future projects. Any other members with us? Angeles, maybe Abueno, not with us. I am not sure. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Again, we can finalize the meeting right now because almost reaching to 2.5 hours. Sharing your ideas, sharing your time with us. We are almost finalized the new year. Happy to all of here for the next year. I hope to see you next year. This is the common word everyone says. Actually, happy Christmas to all of us here. We will share actually the results, the products of the project in our website, in our social media accounts. You can follow them, you can take your own site, and you can share also your own institution websites. That will be a great opportunity for us to disseminate the project's products. Thanks for everyone I don't want to take more time. I just want to say thank you.
Okay,
Happy
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New
very
Year.
much.
Happy
Bye-bye.
New Year,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Happy New
Bye-bye.
Year. İyi yıllar.